Good night, everyone, and welcome to my second ever in English interview. Today is going to be very special because we have one of the greatest female content creator in Europe, and of course, I'm very excited for this talk, for this interview. So I hope everyone enjoys it. Okay, so let's welcome Filipa Carola. How you doing? You are muted, I think.
Yes, everyone.
How you doing,
Oh, I'm
Filipa?
muted. Can you hear me?
No, it's already okay. It's already okay.
Can you? Uh, Great. Buenas noches. My Spanish is really bad, so we are doing the interview in English, but maybe in the next time I can improve my Spanish and we can do it in Spanish.
It's no problem. We can do it in Portuñol next time, but for tonight maybe it's okay with in English. Okay, so Filipa, how you doing? Everything's all right? Are you in Bulgaria right now? Yes?
Yes, I'm living in Bulgaria. I'm home right now because it's 1 hour after Spain, so I already had dinner and I'm just comfortable here and we're just having a comfortable talk at
Yeah,
home.
yeah, of course. So thank you very much for your time because I know it's a little bit late for Bulgaria. So thanks a lot for having this hour or the such that is going to last this interview or a small talk, like I like to say it. So thanks a lot. So I think almost everyone already know who Filipa Carola is, but just in case for those who don't know you, explain us, where do you come from, where do you live, and what do you do for a living, Filipa?
Portugal. I live in Bulgaria and I play Magic. I do content creation and I also do coverage for Legacy European Tour and other events, the broadcasting part. And I'm also a finance analyst as a day job.
Oh, okay. So you have your main job, your very important job, and then aside for that, you are creating content and casting Magic the Gathering events. So that's very interesting, right? So tell us a little bit. How was your first contact with MTG? I mean, do you remember when did you first discover the game, or who taught you play, for instance?
Yeah, I was like 10 years ago and I just started because friends play it during college and I started going with my spare money to my local game store to play some drafts. It was expensive, so I just played whenever I could. I played some pre-releases and I just went from there. And then in 2019, I discovered that GPs were a thing and I
Ah,
was really interested in competitive Magic. So I started going to a lot of PTQs, some GPs. Then
okay.
COVID happened. My friends told me I should start streaming, and I did so. And it all came from that. From
Oh,
casual to trying the PTQ grind. Yeah.
oh my God! And in from which city are you exactly in Portugal?
So I am from near Lisbon, but I was living in Porto. So I played a lot, and the Porto community was the one that also in the north helped me. I went a lot to Vigo to play
Okay, to
events
Galicia.
there, the
Uh-huh.
PTQs.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And which format were you playing? I mean, did you enjoy the pre-releases, for instance, the limited play, or were you just a constructed player directly?
Yeah, I loved Limited. I played the pre-releases draft every week, and then I started playing Standard because at the time you would qualify for Standard. I would do some crazy things like drive 7 hours to Sevilla to go one to drop and come back to Portugal.
This is very classical.
uh,
This is very classical. So don't worry. This is the typical PTQ grind, and maybe not having such great results, and then you come back home like, oh my god. But so you were successful in this PTQ grind or in the competitive Magic. Did you ever qualify for something big, some like the Pro Tour or something?
So I only did this for like a year because, or like not even a full year because then COVID happened. But I did get some top eights. I never qualified for the Pro Tour, but I lost twice in the semifinals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I made it to several top eights. To be fair, some of the events were smaller. I think my best result was like ninth place in a 330 player event where I went 0-5 draw into ninth place.
Oh my.
But yeah, overall, I just tried and did some top eight in like these smaller PTQs with like 70 people or 40
Yeah.
people.
And
But it was just I was just starting.
and your testing group were some very big names in the Portuguese scene, or they were not? They were unknown players, so to say.
They were more unknown players. Definitely the Porto crowd. I was not. I mean, I knew people like Marcio or like these bigger names in Portugal in the competitive scene, but actually was not from the same town as them. Also, I was not as good a player, and at the time I was not creating content, so not really nobody knew what I was. So
Yeah.
I was just playing at my local game store, and my friends thought it was fun to go to GPs, and I also loved it, so I started going to some.
Okay, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And at home, your parents, for instance, or your friends that were not magic related, what did they think about you grinding, playing trading card games? Because I remember in my case, it was like, oh my god, what are you doing? Are you playing magic cards? What's that? I mean, it was something natural for them, or it was something like you have to explain that this is a very cool card games and it's very interesting and very strategical game and the such, or how was the relationship with maybe your parents or your non MTG related friends?
Normally, it was weird because in the beginning I was just spending money on this. And it was weird. Why are you spending your money on card games? Isn't that for kids? But they understood. My mom was also very supportive. And then when I started content creation and actually making some money out of Magic, then they started accepting more. It is more fun to, for example, my manager at my full-time job, I asked her to go for part-time for some time to pursue Magic. And
Mhm.
it's kind of weird to tell your manager, I just want to go part-time on these great jobs so I can do card game things, you know?
Yeah.
But they are all supportive.
No, I think for me it's very cool, but sometimes people they don't understand that they are like another hobbies that are not going to the gym or going, I don't know, to the cinema, and that we are people that we like this kind of card games and the such, and sometimes it's difficult to explain, right? So I think little by little we are going in a good direction, and that everyone more or less knows that this kind of hobbies or this kind of games that exist, and little by little we are reaching to more people, right, Filipa?
Great, and people are more accepting now, and also with some time your friends become the Magic community as well, mainly. Besides my coworkers, when I moved to Bulgaria I didn't know anyone, and then all the friends I made were through Magic, so you kind of start making friends through the circle of Magic. Then actually I found a boyfriend here in Bulgaria, my current boyfriend, and I taught him how to play Magic. He didn't know, never heard of it, thought it was a bit weird. And actually, he really liked the game. He doesn't play a lot, but he understood the basics. And it's always nice to teach other people how to play.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. To be an ambassador to the game and to teach other people is always very cool. Okay, okay. So nice, so nice. And what about the your streaming live or your female MTG content creator? Is it difficult to be a female MTG content creator, or is it the contrary? Is it easier? What do you think? How was your how did you start with the streamings and so on? It was something natural. Someone make a proposal to you, or is it was like, okay, I'm going to stream because MTG Arena rocks and I want to be streaming MTG Arena?
And my friends that I was playing draft every week, they were like, Filipa, you should start streaming. You like to talk, you like to play Magic. You're a girl. I think a lot of people will be interested in watching. And being a girl has its upsides and downsides, like everything else. And I think mostly I got a lot of opportunities because of it as well. So I cannot complain. And yeah, most of my experiences were positive. I cannot talk through everyone. I know other girls had more struggles. I had some, but I would say I had more positive experiences than negative, to be
Yeah,
honest.
of course, of course. And in which year did you start it?
So I started in COVID 2020, so like 4 years ago.
Okay, so it was about time, eh? 4 years is quite a lot. So, and during the pandemics, you even streamed harder, or how was your relationship to the game during these COVID times?
So in the beginning of COVID, I was a teacher and I was doing remote teaching. And I was just streaming a lot. Every time I was not giving class, I was streaming. Then my students found my Twitch. That was not great, but it was funny. And then yeah, they would comment, "I teacher," and I was very embarrassed by that. And after that, I just my student year, like my teacher here, ended in September. I didn't renew my contract because I didn't want to go back to Porto. I preferred staying in my hometown. And then
Mhm.
after 1 year of full time streaming, I was like, it's unfortunately I would love to do it full time, but I can't.
Yeah.
Monetarily is not possible right now. There was also no events at the time, so no opportunities to do coverage, anything like that. I had not a lot of sponsors, so I just had to find a job. I came to Bulgaria, I started a full time job, and now with opportunities and time, I'm part time
Yeah,
doing both
and
things.
that's good. That's good. And at the beginning, when you were streaming, you were chasing the Arena Championship qualifiers, or maybe the those Red Bull big events, or something, or you were like totally casual when you started streaming.
No, I was actually trying to be very competitive. I was playing challenges on MTGO. I was playing these arena at home, try kind of tournaments, the Star City games online as well. I was playing every weekend. So I was playing very consistently, and I think that's when I was playing my best. I was always in the top of the mythic ladder, and I think that's when I also started getting some more viewers because I was trying these tournaments. I was really trying. I did some top 8 challenges on MTGO, and then because of that, I got some big raids like Nassif, Dre Mengucci, and that also helped me a lot. And yeah, I was just trying my best to be the best player I could be.
Of course, Filipa. That's so good. That's so good. And yeah, and the pandemic went away, of course. Yeah. And how was your transition to be a caster? Because as you know, audience, as you know, Filipa is being right now a caster for legacy events during the last 1 year and a half or something like that. So how was this transition? I mean, yeah, how came this opportunity, and I hope you are enjoying it a lot. So tell us a little bit about this experience.
So it all started because, as you said, there were the Red Bull events during the pandemic. So during one of the Red Bull events, the finals were in Portugal, and they needed a Portuguese host. So they contacted me, and I went to Portugal just to be a host. Nothing to do with casting, just like say hello and these kind of things in Portuguese. And then one of the casters, so it was Andrea Mengucci, Toralf, and a third person, and one of the casters didn't make it, the third person. So they kind of
Oh.
asked me if I wouldn't mind doing in English some coverage with Mango and Toralf. So I was just thrown into the wolves. But they are such good people, and they helped me a lot. So I did casting for that event. So then when Legacy European Tour started, I went to Bologna to play the event. It was the first event they had. I went just as a player, and I saw that there were content creators there with some goodie bags and all of these things that the content creators get. So I asked them like, hey, can you like give me an interest or something? I'll promote you on Twitter. You know how these
Yeah.
things go. And they needed casters. They didn't have it. They had some Italian ones, but they were looking for mainly English speakers. And I was like, well, I did cast for Red Bull once, so I guess I can try it. And I will tell you, the first times I look now and I get so. I was like, no, it was so bad. But I guess with everything, you start, you practice more, and now I feel a bit more comfortable
That's
doing
so
it.
cool. That's so cool. This story is really, really cool. So you were playing in that. Bologna was the sealed one, yeah, the limited one with the Streets of New Capena, I
Yeah.
think. and suddenly, wow, you became like
Yeah.
the okay, like a casting inside of those casting team. And how was your last year and a half? You have traveled a lot to a lot of European cities. You have covered a lot of events. So, do you have some memories about which was the best event, or I don't know, some special memory that you have, and do you want to comment us?
They were all great. In the beginning, it was me, Ari, and Will casting. So they were all English native speakers, and I was not only the non-native speaker, but also I was not the most comfortable with modern at the time. So I just felt like I had some big shoes to fill. So the first ones, it took a long time for me to start having fun and enjoying and also understanding. But then I studied more, I played more the formats that we were covering, and I think then I started having more fun. I actually qualified for Lille. I played in Lille.
Wow.
I instead of casting, I played there.
So cool, so
Yeah.
cool. And are you qualified for the last one to be done by Legacy for Naples, or not for this regional championship?
So I didn't try any qualifiers yet. I probably will be casting. It's not announced yet, but I most likely will be casting it. So I kind of know the ones that I might be casting, and if so, I'm not going to try to qualify.
Ah, of course.
But for example, for Lille, I knew that they only wanted me for the last chance qualifier, and I had the chance to qualify for the main event. So I actually did qualify,
That's
and
cool.
I played and I went 0-4.
Sometimes happens, you have been testing a lot, you have been putting a lot of effort in on one deck or two, and then suddenly the variance or whatever, everything goes so bad, and this happens. This is Magic, right? How was your relationship with Magic the Gathering and this kind of variance? I mean, sometimes you win like a lot, then you can lose like a lot. Are you the type of person that you became like a lot of angry or with tilt, or you are controlling emotions? Which kind of player are you, Filipa?
Well, I think everyone kind of has some tilt sometimes. I feel like the times that I was playing the most, I would get more annoyed with variance and I would get more upset. There was times that I got really upset when I was trying really hard, when I was playing a lot. But then if you're playing less, if you're not as committed, if you're just doing it more for fun, then you don't care that much. But I for sure felt it when I was like doing it every day, trying these challenges, trying and then trying so hard and then losing that win and in for like some variants and some top deck, it would affect me. But I always try to be nice to my opponents because they are not in fault of the game,
Of
or
course.
they have zero fault. So I try my best to at least not show that I'm upset. But yeah, I get upset too.
Yeah, that's very important to be kind always, to have good words to the people, because you don't know if tomorrow you are going to be in the other side. I mean, winning more or whatever, or losing more, and it's better just to get on well with everyone, because I know the community is very small, and it's always very important to be nice to people, right, Filipa? So.
See people over and over again, and I recognize them now in events, and it is really nice. And also, after casting so many events, I watch these pro players play, and I think honestly, I'm like, I do not lose all because of variance. I
No.
lose all a lot because I don't see these plays that these people see. So you kind of, it broadens your eye to see like people like Arne play, and to be like, whoa,
Yeah.
they are thinking ahead.
They understand this game. They take always the good play, the good line of play, and of course it's very difficult to compete with these heavy players. Yeah. So is there any player that especially impacted you in terms of, oh, this is such a good player? So not only maybe Arne, but maybe another ones. What can you tell me?
Times when I'm just watching either the Pro Tour, I was really impressed with Nathan Stoyer.
Wow.
When he won the Pro Tour, I was really impressed. But overall, I there's so many that I don't want to miss names, but like Marilu recently in Barcelona, she did amazing. I was really impressed as well. So I get always impressed at anytime I see the players play, especially with those decks that they know so much. So that's why I also really like Modern, because I feel with Modern, people really know their decks and these weird lines that get them to victory. So it's really cool.
Yeah, of course, of course. And they are such a good players, and Mariluz did it so right. And she was in the chat, so at least a few minutes ago. So let's say hola to Mariluz in Portuñol.
Hola.
Okay. So another thing, after the next months, I mean, the legacy events, last events, they are going to be LMS Prague, LMS Bologna, and RC Naples, if I'm not wrong. Are you going to attend to all of them? Are you also planning to go to maybe MagicCon Chicago or not going there?
Go to MagicCon Chicago. I'm not going to be working there, but I'm just going to go for fun. I did work in the one in Europe. So usually in Europe, you might find me working in the main stage, doing just hosting of the main stage for Wizards. And yeah, for the legacy ones, I'll go to all of them until the end. And I'm excited to see what comes next. You know, there's going to be a new organizer. I'm very grateful for Legacy, and if I'm not going to be casting those next tournaments, I'm definitely going to be playing.
Yeah. So as many people may know right now, Tournament Center, they are going to be in charge of the regional championships and the such. I don't know if they are going to keep the same naming even. Maybe they are going to change to European Master or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm not pretty sure right now. And of course, I guess they are going to phone Filipa or to phone another casting team, the casting team from Legacy Events. Maybe they want to enter somebody else, but I'm pretty sure you are going to be very well valued because you have done a great work, and of course you are going to be well valued, I guess. Yeah, so you should be at least. So you are going to Chicago for 5 days or for 1 week, or what are you going to be there? Are you going to be playing maybe some limited games, or what are you going to do there?
I am going for a week and I'm going to be playing the Sealed PTQ Pro Tour qualifier. So I'm going to be trying my best to qualify for the Pro Tour. I don't know, it's very difficult, but I'm going to be giving my best. It's one thing like doing broadcasting for all these events. I see the players and I want to be in their seats, you know? I want to be there, I want to be playing, and it's going to be a good opportunity for me to play a big stakes event. So I'm excited to practice for it and to play in
So,
it.
so it's like in Barcelona, I guess. Maybe this 75K limited open, and it's going to be for this limited, right? For Carl of Maynor, right? The murders at Carl of Maynor.
So So kinda. So this time the 75K is going to be standard, but at the
Ah,
same time they will have a limited Pro Tour qualifier. That so these are two ways to qualify for the Pro Tour. So the one that I'm playing is not for the big money; is more for the qualification. Just because I was indecisive between the two of them, but in the end I decided to go for the limited because I feel that I'm better in limited, and there's
yeah,
not a lot of opportunities to play limited in high stakes. So
yeah.
I decided to go for what I want.
I also love playing limited, and I'm going to be playing in Amsterdam in the Magic Con. I'm going to be playing the limited. I think it's going to be Modern Horizons 3, if I'm not wrong, and I'm going to be preparing the limited open, and I guess also the Saturday's Pro Tour qualifier. They are going to be also limited, so it's like a very good season to study a lot and to play a lot of the limited season. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So another question. How looks like a normal day in your life? I always love to make this question because I want to know more about the person, not only the broadcaster or the MTG content creator, but also about Filipa, yeah, the small person, not the small, the very big person you are. So normally, at what time you wake up? How many hours you work? You maybe make some sport or other hobbies you may have. Tell us a little bit about a normal day in Filipa's life.
Okay, so first of all, I am small. I am 1 meter 57, so you can call me small. It's totally appropriate.
No, no.
Uh, So my days depend a lot. For example, today I worked in the morning, then I had Bulgarian class, then I had a gym workout, then I am having this with you. Yesterday I had D&D with friends, so it really varies. I tried to work out. Now I'm getting more consistently into it, going 3 times a week to the gym, to just better my health, my appearance, all of that. And I'm learning Bulgarian because I live here, and yeah, I'm just working and playing Magic. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming. The new set drops on Arena, so I'm going to be preparing some content.
Okay,
And yeah, it
okay.
depends.
So you keep a very intensive life. How looks like the Bulgarian language should be very difficult, right?
Yes, it's very difficult. I've been learning for over a year, and my Spanish is still better than my Bulgarian. So
Well, we are all Latin and we come from the south of Spain, for the south of Europe, sorry, and we understand each other very, very good. Oh my, Bulgarian! Wow, that should be very, very difficult. And what do you do in the gym? I mean, are you going to normal gym, or maybe you make some classes or something, or?
before I was just doing cardio, but now I have a personal trainer and I'm doing strength workout like lifting weights and trying to do some body recomposition and try to lose some fat, build some muscle.
Uh-huh.
And I really enjoy it. It's therapeutic and it's good for me because with magic we don't move a lot.
Of course, of course, of course, of course. And another question: do you love some TV series, or maybe after having dinner, what is your yeah? I mean, you relax sometime or whatever. You maybe watch some TV movie or something with your boyfriend, or what do you like during nights?
Yeah, so I love movies. My boyfriend is very into cinema, so sometimes he puts some nice movies. Series is more my alley. I like series. I'm rewatching for like the fifth time The Office just because I like comedies, and yeah, I like all the comedies, Friends, Office, and then I watch the big hype ones like the Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad, and
Yeah,
I just really like TV shows. I watched the Squid Games. Now I'm waiting for the next one.
yeah.
So I just watch whatever is suggested on Netflix, to be honest, to relax a bit.
I love all of them. We normally after having dinner we always relax like 1 hour because we have two babies, and with babies everything goes crazier, and we need at least 1 hour to relax and watch some TV show or whatever. And it's like a very important hour for ourselves, to have a little bit cheat or relax a little bit, yeah. So of course that's very cool. That's very good. So, how do you see yourself after maybe RC Naples? I mean, during the second half of the year, what do you expect? I mean, do you expect to be very related to the casting? Do you expect to be maybe in this PTQ grinding? How do you see yourself in the second semester, so to say?
I actually don't know. I only know up to Amsterdam, so I know until Naples, then Amsterdam, what I'm going to be doing, and then it is a mystery. There's a new organizer. They might call me, they might not. If they do, that's great. If they don't, that's great too. And I'll play, and I love to play. So, anyway, I'm taking it as kind of a sign, on what I should do next. And I love playing Magic. So, if not, I'll be doing content creation, still YouTube, Twitch, all of that.
Of
And
course.
I always love Magic and I always play. Casting was something that appeared out of nowhere, and I like doing it. But if that's not in the cards for the next, that's fine as well.
Yeah, of course. And how often do you come back to Portugal? I mean, you should miss a lot your country for sure. Do you come back every 2 3 months, or I mean, how many times do you come back to Portugal, or maybe only for Christmas and big holidays like summer or whatever?
Go to Portugal like twice a year because it's still a bit far. But these days I'm traveling every month to different countries. So it's like I'm always traveling, but to Portugal only twice a year. But my mom, for example, is visiting me now here. So we kind of try to see each other. But sometimes it's difficult because it's a bit far. But yeah, I try to go as much as I can.
Of course, of course, of course. So, do you see yourself living in Bulgaria for many, many years, or maybe you have to say your boyfriend, "Hey, okay, Bulgaria is okay, but we have to go to Portugal, or we have to go to our country, to my country."
Yeah, I actually am loving Bulgaria. I love Portugal as well, but yeah, there's things that are better here for me right now. And my boyfriend is from here. He also wants to stay here, and I'm good anywhere. So
Yeah.
I like the life here. I really like my job as well. So not a lot of jobs would let me go part time to pursue a game, and then whenever I want, I can go back full time. So that's something that I really appreciate. I mean the best job I ever had. I have the best manager I ever had.
Hmm.
So I'm really happy here overall, and I see myself staying
Yeah,
here long
so cool,
time.
so cool, so cool. So having that opportunity to make this split or part time in order to go to a lot of events, because of course you should have like a very special calendar. Yeah, okay, this weekend I have this LMS, this weekend I have this regional championship. It should be very difficult to make anything to come everything together and be able to, of course, reach your targets in your company, and also go in and prepare properly all the regional championship and the such. So okay, you you work very hard, Filipa.
We have to, as well. You also work very hard. You're taking your 1 hour break from the kids and everything to be here and doing content as well. So it is the grind, and I enjoy it. And switching for part time really helped me. Before in September, it's when I switched, but before that, I was getting burned out with so many things going on, and my schedule was looking too full. So I'm glad that now I took a step down, and I have more time for Magic.
Yeah, because sometimes going like full time in your company, full time with your content creation is like maybe it's a little bit too much. So of course you have taken the proper decision. That's for sure. Another block of questions, or just to know a little bit more about this, Filipa. What about Spain? Have you ever been to Spain apart from the LMS Barcelona or whatever? Or I mean, not only for Vigo, for those PTQs, but maybe spend 1 week or 2 weeks for holidays or whatever? Do you know well our country, or which cities do you want to go to?
I went to Sevilla to play Magic. I went to Vigo to play Magic. I went to Madrid to play Magic. I went to Barcelona to play Magic. The only place that I went not to play Magic is Badajoz, because it's like close to Portugal. So like these ones that are close to Portugal, sometimes I used to go just for a couple of days.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I know Spain, some parts, but I want to know more. I want to go to Malaga. There's a lot of places that I want to visit, and hopefully not just for Magic, but also to enjoy,
Of course,
because it's beautiful.
you don't know my area. I come from the very north of Spain, which is País Vasco, the Basque Country. They are in the more or less in the French border. So San Sebastián and Bilbao, they are two interesting cities to visit. And if you like the good gastronomy of Spain in Basque Country, it's really really good. So you should definitely come to Basque Country if you have the opportunity. Don't miss out.
Thing is that every time I go to Spain, I eat so much because everything is delicious. The people are amazing. I honestly, it reminds me a lot of Portugal, and people are so warm, so welcoming. They're so nice, and I understand them, which is great. And doesn't happen in other countries, so it is
Yeah,
really good.
I think you should come. You should come. Okay, I have also some questions from my community because they wanted to know maybe you have some favorite card or some favorite format. Tell us a little bit about your favorite yeah, card and formats.
I really like limited. That's my favorite format. And cards, I there's two I really love. I like Bitter Blossom just because it's Bitter Blossom and it's amazing. And I really like Winota, which is not as popular, but it was really good in standard when I started playing more competitively during COVID, and I really mastered that deck. And then in Pioneer as well, but it got banned from standard and then it got banned from Pioneer. So now I don't really play it, but I really like the card because I got some good results with it in tournaments.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And what about the recent bannings of modern? Do you agree with those bannings? Do you think the modern format looks healthier than before, or maybe it's a little bit so many good decks like Rhinos or Jaumoth or Amulet, they are going to the moon, and maybe the format is not healthy anymore. What do you think about the modern format right now?
I kind of agreed with the bans when they were made. I don't think there's one deck that is much better than the others. Even Rhinos, I think it had 53% win rate in the tournament, or 54. Yagmoth also 53 or 54% win rate. So even these decks, they do have a better win rate than, for example, Rakdos now that underperformed a bit. But I'm not sure. I would like to wait and see what happens with Modern Horizons 3 as well, because I think a lot of things are going to change. I did like that Fury got banned just because Merfolks started playing again, and I like that deck, but that is very biased. So for some people it was very good, some people it was very bad. It was also really fun to see Mario Lu win with Scam after Fury got banned, so that was also
Yeah,
awesome.
that was
But
surprising. That was very surprising. Like, okay, this deck looks like nobody can play this deck anymore, and suddenly Mariluz appears and win out the whole thing in Barcelona. It was like, oh my god! So Scam is still alive. Yeah, so it was very interesting.
yeah, it's true. Not that after all.
Not
And
that
it was
after all.
really fun to see Mario win. I really enjoyed it. And somebody asked me in the comments before, I noticed that because I was mentioning people that I was impressed watching play, and somebody mentioned Talai. And Talai, not only was I impressed watching play, especially when he won and he was the fervent champion, world championship, but also I really enjoyed watching him commentate in Barcelona, because I was watching, I was not commentating that one, so I really enjoyed as well. You have some amazing casters as well here in Spain, Alia, Javier.
Alia also, yeah, Alia also. I remember that beautiful shirt from like a mafioso, with Alai was looking like a mafioso with the red, no red, no the pink shirt, I think. Yeah, yeah, I remember. Talai is amazing. Talai is one of the greatest of all time. I hope they can induct him to the Hall of Fame because I think he deserves it. So for sure, Talai is one of the greatest. So for sure, and also Carvalho in your country, Marcio, is like yeah, he's a genius, right?
You're also a very good player. And in Spain, I'm always impressed because in these Legacy European Tour events, a lot of Spanish players doing great results. I see Tony Martos, which is a great person, and always doing great results, but other people as well. I think Gutierrez, I'm not sure, probably I'm
Nils, yeah,
butchering his
Nils.
name, but also Niels, yeah, Niels also doing consistent results back to back. So a lot of good players
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Spain
I
for
think
sure.
I think in Spain we grind a lot the so to say the competitive circuit, and there are also a lot of support from the shops, yeah, from the Magic shops. So we have like a lot of RCQs, a lot of support from the players as well. So that's why I think also, especially in modern, we always say like. Spain speaks modern because modern is like the most played format in Spain, and then you go to the regional championship, and out of eight, five were Spanish, yeah, and from the 24 slots to the PT, nine came back to Spain, right? So it's like we are a power force, at least in modern, and I think in general in Europe, Spain has such a good players, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm always impressed by the Spanish players and community, and I think the Spanish community practice a lot and a lot of good tournaments there.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think in Portugal, or do you know if in Bulgaria there is such a good community? Not a good, but as big community for sure not. But do you think in Bulgaria Magic is heavy played or not that much?
Of more commander. But then there's like this group of, I would say, 30 people that are more into competitive magic. They play legacy, modern, they go to these events. For Bologna, for example, we were like 20 something people going from Bulgaria. Some of them do good results, some of them did top eights in the LMSs. But it's definitely a smaller community. Portugal, not as much, but also, especially when you compare it to Spain or Italy, where there's a lot of people playing.
Hmm, for sure, for sure. And what about Magic the Gathering in general? I mean, this game has 30 years, yeah? So do you think it's going to survive like 5, 10, 15 more? Or do you agree with all these decisions like second layer after second layer, maybe monetizing like quite a lot the product, but maybe they have been like fighting a lot of people in Wizards, and maybe this is not good. How do you see the general health of Magic the Gathering? Because maybe in Europe we're in a bubble or something, or maybe we see like a lot of people competing, but I don't know if the general overview is like this, or what do you feel, Filipa?
I honestly like an intern from my work where I work, like my job, my main job that is not magic related, plays Commander. So I think like the guy at the airplane the other day, he saw my magic, the air attendant, he saw my magic back and was like, "You play magic, I play Commander." So I think Commander is huge, and we are very not aware of it. Uh, about the secret layers, like some of them I really like because you can customize your deck. I think things are getting quite expensive. Will say that. And I know that Asbro, since they bought Magic, things changed a bit. And of course, it's a company. In the end of the day, money is what speaks louder. But yeah, I would like to see events being more affordable, because when I started playing, I barely had money to pay the pre-release and the drafts, and if they were the price that they were today, maybe I would never start playing
Yeah,
Magic at
yeah,
all.
yeah. Because this last weekend we had the pre-release of Murders at Karlov Manor, and it was like 32, 34 euros per pre-release. I don't know if it's like this in Bulgaria or in Portugal, so expensive. And it's like, oh my God, maybe 5 years ago or so, it was like half, not half, but maybe it was 20 or 22 euros. And it's like getting expensive and expensive, right?
I completely agree. They also changed a bit the booster types, but at the same time, I really think if there's one thing that should be affordable, it's the pre-release, because there's when new players and a lot of young players want to try Magic, especially if they come from Arena and they want to try Paper, and it's a big barrier. So I think that that could be more affordable. The secret layers, if you like them, you can buy them. If you don't like, you cannot, you don't have to buy them, as long as they still provide the arts, in normal arts, in boosters. If they're not like exclusive cards that you cannot get somewhere else besides the secret layers, I'm okay with them doing whatever designs they want. Some of them are really cool, I really like, I get for my decks. But yeah, the thing that I would really focus is getting the tournaments to be a bit more affordable, especially the pre-releases.
Yeah, yeah, because the pre-release sometimes is like the first event ever for the new players. Yeah, so if you put the barrier so high, maybe the newbies or they are not going to attend to those pre-releases, and that's a pity because they are very special events. I always say that a pre-release is like, I don't know, like like Christmas or something like that, because you are like yeah, nervous, or you want to play with the cars and the brand new cars, and I think it's a very special event. Did you have the opportunity to play this last weekend, the pre-release, or not?
It, I did. It was so much fun. Do you know this card? I forgot the name, but it's minus X, black card, and it says this cannot be
Yeah,
countered,
it's a
and
premium a
it
premium
gives minus
common, a
X.
premium common. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got it in the alternative art, and in the alternative art, it just says this cannot be countered, and it doesn't give the explanation. So my opponent had this creature with ward, and I was like, here and he's like, but you cannot pay for the ward. And I'm like, I don't need to because this spell cannot be countered. And then he was like, judge. So it's really nice to see these cool new interactions. And then he was like, oh, that's actually really cool. And I'm like, I know. So yeah, new cards, new funny things to do, and it is always a good time.
Of course, and there are a lot of bombs in this set. It's very difficult to navigate, but they also very interesting play patterns. Maybe with this detective and these clues and everything. I think it's going to be an interesting set that tomorrow releases in Arena. So I'm just cannot wait to draft a lot, to play a lot of sealets, because this month we have two important Magic tournaments in Arena, this Arena Open and also the qualifier weekend. So I don't know if you are going to play a lot in your channel, Filipa Limited. I think I know you love it, right?
My mom is visiting, so probably I will not be able to play a lot for stream, but maybe I'll try when Arena Open when I'm home with my laptop. I really love playing in these events, it's really nice. So for sure I'm going to be trying something.
And are you like a Magic Online or Arena lover, or do you prefer playing face to face, playing physical IRL Magic? This comparison is always pains a lot, but for me, it's like gathering and playing in real life is superior to playing in a computer, right?
I started with paper. I prefer paper. I still do content in MTG Arena. It has a lot of benefits. I also play MTG online. It does have a nice economy. You can practice. But I feel like where I really love these online systems is to practice for paper tournaments. Which I remember when Arena came and I was like, I really want them to have all the cards for standard so I can practice on Arena to play standard in real life. So
Yeah.
that's where I see a lot of it.
Of course, it's a really interesting tool in order to test for the in real life tournaments. But then one more time, it's like, okay, in Arena I can have every deck, so to say. I have wildcards. I'm drafting a lot, so I have a lot of wildcards. But then again, if you need like playing the RCQ season for a standard, for instance, then you have like going cheap, so to say, and maybe play mono red or something like that, or you can you must spend like a lot of money in some very expensive decks like Esper mid-range, for instance, that maybe is 600 euros or more. So this is also very difficult to yeah, to come together, right? It's very expensive compared with the virtual game, right, Filipa?
Yeah, it's true. And they are building tools to try to incorporate. Like they had these for the United States. You could play on Arena and get this a festival box at home, but they didn't do it for Europe, unfortunately. And you have these codes from pre-release that, yeah, I was also very sad. They have these pre-release codes that you can redeem on Arena, and before it was only one code per person, but now I think it's five, so you can actually do a lot of pre-releases and then get packs on Arena, which is nice.
Yeah.
But still, playing in paper sometimes can be expensive. There's always budget decks, and there's always the community. Since I started playing, I always been able to borrow decks or borrow cards from people, and I never didn't play a deck because I didn't have the cards. Because
Yeah.
at least I don't know if it's the same for Spain, but in Bulgaria and Portugal, smaller communities and people are willing, if they trust you, to lend you cards
Yeah.
and help you build your deck.
This is the same in Spain. At least normally, maybe okay, I will buy like a lot of cars in blue and red. I don't know. And then there is like a couple of guys that they are doing the contrary, and they are buying green and white. With 3 4 guys, maybe you get all the pool or almost all the pool. And then if you don't share the deck, because sometimes it happens also, I want to play this deck. Okay, you cannot because Filipa is going to play it. So this is sometimes a discussion, right? But normally you can get all the decks you may want. But yeah, they should definitely they should maybe do something about this conjugation of digital versus IRL, because it's difficult to. It's like paying double, yeah, paying for the digital, paying for the physical cards is a pity. It's a pity, I think. I don't know which is the solution. Of course, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult to keep up, and I can imagine now I have a job, so it's not as difficult. But I can imagine when I started and was in college and didn't have money, it would be really really difficult to enter. And I know for most people it will be the same. And pre-releases now, as you said, 35 euros. Before I would do a lot of them. Now maybe I do a couple. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
of
it
course.
starts to be heavy on the wall. So many tournaments.
Yeah. Okay, and what to expect about the in 2 weeks we are going to have some announcements, I think, about the new way of maybe qualifying to the Pro Tour and the SATs. Do you expect some big changes? Maybe the comeback of all GPs, maybe the comeback of all PTQs where there is maybe one slot for 200 people, but this is not like the RCQs where you have to win a tournament of 25 people and then attend to the regional championship. What do you expect? What do you hope? Or I don't know. What do you think? Is going to change something? What's your bet, Filipa?
Well, I really like things how they were when I started playing these tournaments more seriously. I like the system where you have the GPs and then you also have these PTQs that are not really often, but they gather so many people, like 200 people to play these PTQs. And I really enjoy the PTQ and GP system. And I also really enjoy the nationals. So hopefully that's something they return because it's amazing to have nationals and to build communities.
I love the Nationals. I remember how yeah, how good they were playing partially limited and partially constructed, because as a limited lover I miss the times where limited mattered, so to say. Of course it still matters in the Pro Tour, but maybe not so much in the middle ground, because almost no LGS is choosing limited for their CQs, and this pains a lot to me. It's always like constructed, but I would like to see more importance or for the limited play.
DCI where you see like all your match history to be like, remember in 2019 when I won against you 3 times in a row?
That was so cool. The DCI was so cool. So yeah, let's see what's going on in 2 weeks. Let's see if the maybe the Pro Tour club is coming back or not, because like the dream of becoming a Pro Tour a pro player, it just disappeared, so to say. So maybe they should come the Pro Tour the Pro Club should come back. I don't know what's your take about that, Filipa.
I would love that. That's why I started playing more seriously and I started investing so much in the game. I think the good thing about the Pro Tour dream was that we believed that every one of us, with a bit of luck and a bit of effort, could get there. So, and tell your friends that you are in the Pro Tour. So I really hope that the things change a bit and that we get more opportunities, and also opportunities that help the stores to get more players and more people involved. I think that's also important.
Yeah. I think nowadays we have like a lot of games, right? I mean, there is Lorcana, there is Flesh and Blood, of course there is Magic the Gathering, and I think yeah, little by little they are like giving a lot of importance also to other games, and of course this is a business, and a store should keep everyone happy with Yu-Gi-Oh and all these games. But for sure, I hope Magic the Gathering can keep at least keep and maybe grow a little bit more, yeah, because I think it's a very interesting game, the only one that has that has last like 30 years, right? So the other ones are, so to say, newer. Maybe Pokemon is also 25 or more, I think, right?
Yeah, Pokemon is also quite old. Actually, it started also with Wizards of the Coast, and then it changed who was making it. So interesting, but yeah, and we are growing with the game. I'm 29, so I'm 1 year younger than Magic. So I felt like I've been playing since I was 19, and I've been growing with the game as well.
Yeah, okay, so let's see if
And I
the
would love to see the game be older and older.
okay, I hope the same. I hope the same. Okay, so yeah, I got to know you in Barcelona in the Magic Con, but I hope I'm going to see you in Naples. I think we are going to finish little by
Yeah.
little because it's very late in Sofia and in Bulgaria. I don't want you to sleep badly. So so I want to thank you for this hour of conversation. It was a blast. I really had a lot of fun. I hope you too, Filipa.
Gracias a todos. Muchas gracias. Es muy bueno estar aquí. Y no hablo español, pero para próxima hablo español un poquito.
Hablas muy bien, hablas muy bien. ¿Eh? La próxima vez hablamos en portuñol. En Nápoles hablaremos en portuñol and we will
Sí.
enjoy maybe some drink or some pizza or whatever. So, yeah, I wish you a lot of luck in your last events for Legacy. As I have said, for Prague, for Bologna, and of course for Naples. And hopefully you will get a call from Tournament Center. And yeah, I hope to see you in Naples. Thanks so much, Filipa, for being here. I will say goodbye to the guys, to the audience, and later I will text you. Okay, Filipa.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Filipa. See you soon. And tons of luck.
Adiós.
Adiós, adiós. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Ok. Bueno, pues eso ha sido todo. Voy a hacer un sorteito para los que os habéis quedado.